Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to talk about what you should do when you find out your African cichlid female is holding. So there's three methods or ways that you could do this. The first of all is to leave the female in the tank. This is the most easy and less work than the other ways, but sadly your fry will be eaten. Most of them, if not all of them, will be eaten by the other fish in the tank. Now, there's another way that people like to do is to strip the eggs from the female and put them into an egg tumbler, and this artificially incubates the eggs until they are free swimming fish. Now that's a little bit for more advanced fish keepers, and I don't suggest doing that, especially for your first few times. Now what I like to do still, and what I recommend, is to just move your female to an isolation tank or a tank on her own. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that there's the least amount of stress possible. Some ways that I like to reduce stress is to make sure the trip from one tank to the next is very quick. Another way is to make sure that the temperatures in the water are almost exact. And when they're the same, it won't really shock her when she switches them. A next thing to do is to have your lights off in the tank that she's in basically all the time. I like to turn them on every so often just to check for fry, but you know that she'll hold for about 2 to 3 weeks, so you don't really need to check until then. So have the lights off, same temperature, make sure the trip is fast. Another thing that I like to do is to have a decoration cave, pretty much. So as you guys can see, I just have a bunch of rocks piled up in here. Looks like there's no fish in here, but I actually have a holding female in here. Now you can see her little yellow head on top. It's a yellow lab she's holding again. And she feels a lot more comfortable in there. And the reason you want to reduce stress is because it will increase the chances of her actually holding the eggs until they're ready. When they get stressed out, they could either spit the eggs early, which will just kill them because they're not moving around and disease and mold will grow on them, or they'll swallow the eggs out of fear, and that will obviously kill them. Like I said before, you can expect them to release the eggs in about 2 to 3 weeks, and really you don't need to do anything once that happens. You could leave her in the tank. She's obviously not going to eat the fry because she just held them in her mouth for a good while. I suggest leaving her in the tank, in that isolation tank, or moving her to a different isolation tank. One of those two would work fine. I don't like to put her back into the main breeding tank right away, and that's because since she didn't eat for about 2 to 3 weeks, or didn't eat much, then she's really hungry, and that means that she's going to be really weak. And if she starts breeding again, she'll be holding again, and another 3 weeks right after her first 3 weeks can be lethal. So I recommend having her recover for a week or so and beef up, get some food in her, and then you could breed her again. That's why it's better to have a breeding group rather than a breeding pair. It's much more efficient. However, breeding pairs may work at times. So I hope this works out well. If anyone that is watching this is breeding and has any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully this can help you guys out.